friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with part 2 of our sweet little Altoid tin mini journal. And so I think I showed this in the first video. It's been, you will have just seen it, but I actually filmed it quite a while ago. So it is all bound and whatnot. I think we're just going to do kind of a cluster on the front of here, just to decorate the top of the paper cover. So I'm going to grab, I did put some gesso on the tin. I put several coats. I'm just going to show you that really quick. We're going to do a mixed media kind of thing on it. Let me grab it. I've got, it's still a little bit wet, so I've got a I've got a paintbrush stuck in between the lid here, but I've given it several coats of gesso, and I still need to give it another coat on the inside, and then we'll just paint the inside, and then we're gonna put some texture beauty on the outside, and then we're gonna do an assemblage of sorts on the top. And so what I found that I thought would go really well with this, because it's a kind of a floral garden cottage, it's cottage charm. I called it cottage garden in the previous video, so thank you. I don't remember what your name was. I'm so sorry. Somebody left a comment over on my blog asking about the name of the kit. It is not called cottage garden. It's called cottage charm from My Porch Prints. So this is kind of the little assemblage that we're going to put on the front of the journal. That is subject to change because I'm just beginning the thought process on that. So I'm so pleased that some people in the Facebook groups are already doing their little mini journal for the Altoid tin. So it's pretty exciting. But I do have to show you guys, this is so funny. We had a birthday party yesterday, and two of my grandsons we celebrated their birthday, and they got gift cards from somebody in the family. Check out this box. It is magnetic. Hear that? Magnetic. And then it has a window on the back. So we are going to totally make a journal out of this at some point in time. It is a little bit bigger, so it's about 3 3/16 by 4 3/8. So won't that be fun? So I begged them for them. I'm like, if you want to keep them, you can keep them, but if you're going to just toss them and recycle them, please just leave them for Grammy. So they did. So I have 2 of them. So let's get going. Today we're going to work on just doing some little bit of embellishing here and start putting things in the journal. So to my chagrin, I discovered that I can't do my normal kind of lace hanging out of the journal because I don't have enough room in the tin. So this is just barely going to fit. So we won't be able to go outside of this barrier, this boundary here in this journal. But that's okay. We can still have a great time. So what I did here is I have a pile of stuff that I've already separated that we are going to make some pockets. Some of it is stuff from the kit. We're going to make a cluster. We're going to make a hidden journaling spot and all of that. So this I just set over here because I think that I'm going to put this on the tin top. So I haven't decided though. It's such a small space that I'm struggling to get my mind around how that's going to all go. This is some embossed paper that I did. And I just pulled it from my stash because I thought it would make a great small pocket. So I'm going to grab my small punch here, and we're going to just start there, okay? So I'm just kind of lining it up here, just trying to get it in the center and making a very small notch because it's a very small envelope, or pocket rather. So I'm going to go ahead and ink kind of as we go, but I want to show you the beauty of this embossing. So I'm going to do a video on doing embossing and how to use these bits in journals. I've got a little bit of a tear there, so I'll probably put some washi tape on there. So let me grab some really quick before I forget here. So let's just grab a piece of this kind of script here. That works really well. It'll kind of add an interesting little element, like this pocket has been torn because it's old. That works really well. So I'm going to move some of this out of the way here. So what's cool about this is if I take my ink and I just use my dauber and go over, I'm going to be able to catch the embossed texture that was created. I'll hold it up for you here in just a second, guys. But that's what our little pocket looks like. So as a reminder, my pages are measuring 2 inches by 3 1/8. So I set that aside so I don't forget that I cannot go outside of that boundary. So pardon me a second. I don't have the air on in here, and it is getting toasty in the studio. So actually, I almost would like to have that pocket on the inside cover. Won't that be perfect? So let's go ahead and do it. I'm using my Barely Arts today because it's got the smaller nozzle on it. Sorry, guys. And my other pseudo Barely Arts glue, that more inexpensive one, it's got a bigger opening. And since we're working with such little bits, I want to make sure that we don't flood these pieces with glue. So here we go. We may not put everything in the pockets right now, but we can come back to it if we don't. It's not going to be too hard, so let me just reach over here and see what we have. I like to take the extra pieces like this and make little tags and stuff out of them, so we're going to do that with this one. We're just going to go ahead and just trim this off. You know what, I better use my cutter, otherwise it could be disastrous. This is off camera, guys, so I'm gonna just trim that down on both sides. And then these images are so sweet, so sweet. And again, these are from my porch print, so there, it's gonna fit in there nicely, and it's not gonna stick up. And so I am gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cut a little bit off the top because I don't want it to be too tall. And then we're gonna go ahead and do our little cuts here. And just doing that little trick where you can cut the corner off one side and then turn it over and use it on the other corner. This is so fiddly though because everything's so tiny. Oh my goodness, it just moved. That's okay. Let's just do this. Doesn't have to be perfect, right? What's my motto? Oh my goodness, that's terrible. Let's try that. Let's fix that side. There we go. That'll be fine. So let's ink this up as well. Probably what I'll do is get just a little scrap piece of lace and just make a topper on this. Or we have all of our little tabbies that come in the kit. Let me show you what I mean here. These things are so small though. And you see how little they are? It's just crazy. Absolutely. Oh, this would be pretty on the front of this pocket. And we're going to do a little bit of major fussy cutting here on camera, if you don't mind. Where are the tabs? Oh, and there's our little words. And oh, I just saw the tabs. Probably got buried somewhere here. Oh, for goodness sakes. For goodness sakes. Actually, look at this. This is already cut out. This would be really cool on that pocket. It's almost a little bit too big. No, it's not. It's perfect. We're going to do that. I apologize if I hop around a little bit. I sort of planned this, but not really. I'm just trying to kind of play around and have a good time, not being too serious about it. And so in case you missed the first video, you can check that out. There's a playlist already started. And I basically take a kit and I cut it down to, I put 6 to a page when I print it. So in your printer settings, it'll say pages per page or items per page or something. I don't know. And I changed it from 1 to 6, and then you get these teeny tiny little bits. So I'm going to go ahead and just, I want to make sure I don't trash any of these because they're so small. There we go. There's one. We're going to use the little one that says Cottage. Oh my goodness, I can't even hardly, or Garden rather, can hardly hold on to it. It's so tiny. Get some inking. There's going to be a lot of laughing, I think, in this process. But you certainly wouldn't have to use a kit, guys. This is a super great project if you want to just totally use junk and you want to just kind of stay true to the definition of junk journal. Because you can find all kinds of things that are just perfect for decorating a smallish journal. So isn't that sweet and simple? just like that. Okay, sweet, we already got one done. So let's find a little piece of lace. I've got my little lace scraps basket here, and I'm gonna grab a piece and see if we can find something that will work as a topper. I've got lots of big pieces in here too, so I'm just gonna cut that off really quick. And we'll put a piece of lace on there. Oh, this section would be really pretty. I am trying to minimize the bulk a little bit in this journal because, again, it's not very big, and it's there's not a lot of room in there, but it's okay. We'll just stuff it in. We'll just stuff it in and hope it stays shut. Oh, that will be beautiful. So we're going to put that on as a topper. So I was just getting my Fabri-Tac out here. Forgot to do that. We're going to be covering up our chimney a little bit, but that's okay. Oh, isn't that just sweet? So no matter how small, you can still do all the things that you would normally do in your journal, just in miniature. And that's not going to be sticking up too much. I'm going to grab a paper towel. Here we go, and I'm just going to squeeze that together. And I'm not going to put it in the pocket right now just because it's wet on the back now. So I'm going to just set that aside, and we're going to go on to the next thing. So the other thing we wanted to make, I'm going to set some of this aside. And this is what I wanted to do. I took some of the tickets, and see how small they are? It's epic. I'm going to ink them, and we're going to use them as a kind of an over the page embellishment, and we're going to glue it at the very top where it folds so that it'll stay on a page, and then just stick something up underneath on one side. So let's find a page to put that on. And let's see, I think it would be really lovely on this coffee dyed. Well, I don't want to really, yeah, on the coffee dyed page, because we can kind of go, I don't want it to stick up. It can probably stick up a little bit. Can't remember how tight we were on space. I'm going to grab this other tin, which is just another empty one, and I want to see what the dimensions really were, because I've already forgotten. I have it written down somewhere, but yeah, you know me. So this is 3 5/8. So we do have a little bit of room because our page height is 3 1/8. So I think we'll be okay to have this stick up just a little bit up the top. And the reason why I'm gluing it is because there's really, other than a really tiny paper clip, there's no way to keep this on the journal page. So I'm going to just glue it kind of like that and stick it on here like so, and just have it stick up just like not even 1/8 of an inch, just like that. Oh, come on, stick like so. I realize this is, maybe I should move you in a little bit closer. Sorry guys, everything's so tiny. Big hands, tiny space. Okay. And then I just took one of the little, and this is one of the little booklets, obviously, again, shrunk down to 6 to a page, which makes it what? Oh my goodness, what is 1/6 of a page? I don't even know. That's hard math for me. But basically, yeah, it's super small. Just inking everything as I go. Fun. And that's just a little bit of a writing space. Isn't that sweet? And then this can just tuck up in there like that. Isn't that cute? Okay, so this is another strip of the tickets that I thought we would use as a belly band. It's not quite as tall as the page, so it's going to be a little bit of a shrimpy one, but that's okay. Actually, if we put it on here, maybe it would be all right. Would it work? Oh, well, it's a little bit long there on that page, so let's find another spot. It would be probably pretty on here. Kind of looks weird though, because I think I'm not going to do that. Let me find another piece of something that we can use as a belly band. So give me just a quick second. Got lots of bits here. Oh, this would actually be pretty. I've got so many pages from the kit, these little ones that I printed, that I think I'm okay to go ahead and just trim some of them up and just use them however I want to here. Oh, that's so small. Can I cut it? Sorry, it's not, that's off camera, you guys. I know that's tough, but oh, that's perfect. I don't think I like it on there though. Let's go over here. And it's perfect size, so we're going to ink it up. Just a simple little strip of paper into a belly band. Oh, sorry for the phone, you guys. I unfortunately cannot pick up the phone right now, so I'm going to pause a second. Okay, sorry about that, guys. That was my phone, and it's across the room, so I really can't go and grab it. I have to tackle things to get out of my little spot here. And plus, yeah, plus I don't answer the phone unless I know who's calling. Okay, there we go. So there's our little belly band with that little lamp post. Isn't that sweet? And then I have just a little piece of paper here that's just a scrap of coffee dyed paper from my stash. We're going to go ahead and ink that up a little bit. If the person leaves a voicemail, I will go ahead and check it and have to come back to you just in case it's important. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to slide that in there. We're going to slide it in there. It's so fiddly. Okay, there we go. There we go. So we got a little piece of paper. And so then I thought we would do one of the envelopes. So this is one of the envelopes from the kit. And we are going to do something creative here in a second. Just getting through some of these top bits. I don't really like to use my scoreboard to do this. You guys certainly could, but I find it very frustrating, and it's easier for me to just do it with my fingers. So just got my bone folder here. And let's see here. Right in front of your face, Cara-Renee. That one wasn't quite straight. There we go. Hope you guys are being able to see this okay. Everything being so miniature. So cute. Isn't it so cute, you guys? I just think this is like the most fantastic thing ever. It's too wide, so it's going to have to go in like that, but that's all right. Let's fold this last flap and like so, and then we will maybe we'll put a little piece of Velcro to attach that. So let's go ahead and ink this really quick. I like my things inked. You certainly don't have to ink, but I really like that kind of vintage look that it gives things. So perfect. So let me see if my Velcro is anywhere nearby. I've shifted some things in the studio again. Oops, and it's hard for me to remember where I actually might have to come back to that Velcro. I can do that obviously off camera. I just can't remember if there's somewhere that I can just reach. Are they? Oh, come on. Yep, there they are. Just a little basket of randomness here. Okay, so we're going to cut it down though because this is way too big of a circle. So I'm just going to do that and do that. Okay. So got a little bit of Velcro, so I'm going to go ahead and close this up again, and then I'm going to put the Velcro on here. This is the not the soft side, the other side, the not soft side. And then we're going to get one of the soft sides, what I call them. I don't even know what they're supposed to be called, but all right. There we go. The fluffy side. And I just put it right on top of that, like it was Velcroed together already there, and then put it down on my surface. And then you it ensures that your stuff is actually lined up, right? So like that. Like that. Yep. Perfect. Okay, so let's open her up. Sweet. So we do need to glue this though. I mean, you wouldn't have to, and often I don't. I leave them open as a journaling space, but that's not really conducive to this project because this is going to be glued down. It's not going to be kind of a free-floating envelope. So there we go. Oh, come on. Hold that for a second. And I've got a little journaling card. This is from the kit, so we're just going to go ahead and stick this in there. And I do double print my stuff for the most part, so that you've already got that instant journaling space on the back that's pretty, and you don't have to worry about anything. So I'm just going to stick that in there. Actually, let's stick a little, another little tag. This is just a tiny tag. So sweet. I don't know that anybody would ever journal in this journal, but maybe we'll give this one away in the 2,000 subscriber giveaway, which is coming up. I thought about doing the fairy journal as a giveaway, but that's going to be such a monumental project. I don't know if I can do that because it's going to be an enormous amount of work because I'm actually doing it mixed media style. So do we want to cover up that book page or no? How about we put it right here? So I'm doing it so that the envelope opens this way, and I'm going to leave, I think I'm going to leave this edge open so that it can also be a pocket. So I'm just going to put my fingers on that so that I don't glue it, glue the wrong edge. So I'm gluing two sides and the bottom. There we go. Doesn't seem like much glue. There we go. And then we're going to just put that down. I'm going to kind of go in here so that if I stick something in that pocket that I've just created, it's not going to come over that edge of that page as we talked about earlier. We don't have that luxury of having things kind of stick out. So we've got another piece of this. I don't know if that would be appropriate for that, but oh, we've got this little envelope, a little coin envelope that we could stick in there. It's a little bit too short for that. We're going to leave that for now, and we'll come back to it later. We already have two pieces in there, so that's good. So now I want to work with, help you, goodness. Oh my word. We're going to make a hidden journaling spot. And if you've been watching my channel, you already know how to do these. But basically, I'm going to do this and I'll show you how it's constructed. And maybe we'll actually cut the pieces to show you how that works. So you don't want, I'm not going to ink that edge. And that's going to make more sense here in a second. I'll tell you how I did this. And then that will help you to follow along a little bit better. I should probably just did it on camera anyway. But I don't always think things through. So there we go. So I'm going to put this together, and then we're going to talk about how we do it. So actually that's not going to work. So this started out as this piece. So I made it a little bit shorter than the height that it needed to be for the journal. So this is measuring, oh no, it's bigger. No, it's not. The height of our pages can be 3 1/8. So this is 2 3/4 inches high when this piece is whole. And it is I think it's just under 2 inches. Yeah, I made it 1 7/8 inches, or yeah, 1 7/8 inches wide, so that you're going to start with that size piece or whatever size piece that you want to do. And then you're going to decide how much you want to cut off the top, because this is going to be the pull that pulls out your secret journaling spot, which is this. Okay, that's going to be glued to that, and it's going to pull out. So you can determine how thick you want this to be, or how tall you want that to be. I just made mine. I wanted to get under those words, and I'm not inking this edge, and I'm not inking this edge, so it stays secret, which is the awesome, epic part of this. So when you are ready, you're going to glue this on, and you can just kind of I spy, or you can make a pencil mark. Let's just go ahead and do that. Let's make a pencil mark so that we know what our glue lines are supposed to be, to glue this on the back of this, or on the front of the actual journaling spot that's inside this. So we're going to put glue all over in this area. Like so. And you can, if you've not seen me do these, you could totally just go to the playlist, and you'll probably find it in the playlist. I think it's called Hidden Journaling Spots. I think I want to turn this way because I like that lacy bit at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set that on there. I'm going to quickly turn it over and line it up. And you have that luxury with the Barely Arts glue. So you probably wouldn't want to do that with art glitter glue, because you don't get enough wiggle room or time to move it. And then this piece goes on the back of it just to cover up that bit. So it's not very much writing space, but it's so cool. It's so little. Now, if I went narrower on this, we would have more writing space, but I didn't. So we were just going to work with it. So you can play around with these. You can make them just like I'm making them in any size that you want. Or you can, I've also made them so that the opening is on the side. So you can kind of play around with that as well. It's not my idea, you guys, but I honestly, at this point, I don't remember where I saw it. But I do believe that the very first video I did where I used them, I did give credit to the person that I, saw it on. So we need a back for it. That was silly. So goodness gracious. So let's just use this as our back. So it needs to be the same size as this and this put together. This is probably not making any sense, you guys, and I'm so sorry. So sorry, but you guys can check out the playlist if you want to see, or if you'd like me to do another video, I'd be happy to do that. Can never have too many of these. Pencil. So we're just going to go like that and make our pencil line, and then just go ahead and trim that up. Completely forgot the most important, well, not the most important part, but it is essential to this working, because you glue this to the other main piece. I am so scattered, you guys. I'm just inking this edge. This part is not going to show. We're going to let this be the writing space. So, well, I guess let's just ink this up, because it's now going to look really funny. It's okay. We can just use our vintage photo and just make some background here. In a pinch, you can always do that. There we go. Because it's going to show, so that's why I didn't want it to be white. So now what we're going to do is we're going to glue this on here, and then that will slide. Oh, that's not how it works either. What did you do, Cara-Renee? So, I can't remember. It's been a while. We're just going to go with it. I think that this part is supposed to actually be cut off of this top. Maybe when we do episode 3, I'll actually slow down and do this part with you again. I'm so sorry, you guys. I know that can be super confusing and not very helpful. So my apologies. Actually, let's go ahead and see if we can pull this off. Yeah, we're going to pull that off. And so basically what you want to do is you would cut this off of here, I think. I cannot remember. Okay, let's just continue as though this is not completely broken. and I will come back and do a better job, you guys. My memory is terrible, and I make these all the time, and for some reason I still get super turned around, and it's hard. It's really hard to be that forgetful. So that's where that goes, and then this slides in here, but I can't figure out, maybe that was right. Gosh, you gotta let that glue, Cara-Renee. Maybe it was right. Let's just glue that back on. No harm, no foul. It might just be, so when we do things that are different than the normal thing, it can feel wrong because just the way our brains work, it's like, this doesn't look right. And it's because of, it's not the right size. It's not the same. It's not what you normally do. So that's okay. So I'm just going to attach this again. And I will still come back and do another one of these in the next video. Because this was just a hot mess, right? You can say it. I don't mind. I don't mind being told the truth. So, and then basically the way this works, this was right all along, you guys. This slides in here like this. Oops, now it's tight. Let me grab my metal ruler to open that space up a little bit. When you do this, your glue oozes, right? And so you kind of lose some of the landscape of your pocket, which can be problematic, but there we go. So there's our little journaling spot. And so you really can't tell that it's open unless you look closely, right? So let's find a home for this. And then we have one more thing we're going to do in this journal, and then we will be done for today. I'm going to stick this pocket tag in there really quick. And then let's see, let's go to the other signature. So this has 2 signatures. And so how about right here? Yeah, that'll work. It's a little bit challenging because I rounded the corners on all my pages, so things are going to feel a little bit strange. Sometimes I will leave the top open or the sides open for a tuck, but we're not going to do that in this journal because it's just too stinking small, and I think it would be very problematic. Well, the last thing we're going to do is make a little cluster, and we might do our cover here. We're still doing pretty good on time, so I think we might continue for a little bit here. So that is that. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, it's so sweet. Okay, so let's do a little cluster. I like to put clusters on pages like this. So I've got some bits out just because I didn't want to go on a total fishing expedition. I need a little bit bigger piece of coffee dyed paper though, I think. So I like to layer up my clusters and just kind of randomly do them on a page. And so I just tear up little bits and then I just layer them up. So we're going to do that here. I like to have a few different kinds of paper just to create some interest. So we've got that, and then we've got a piece from the kit here. This is kind of still rough on this side, so let's tear that down a little bit. Oh boy, that was terrible. Okay, let's get a bigger piece because that's too small for me to tear. Let's just use this. No, I don't want to use that. Let's use this. Little things are fun, but they are definitely tricky to work with. So I just cut them up, and they're varying sizes because they're going to layer on top of each other. And then we've got a piece of this purplish. My big old nails don't really help either. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and ink this up, and then we'll put this in the journal, and then maybe we'll take a stab at just doing a little bit of a cluster on the cover of the journal. Not the tin, but on the journal paper part, paper cover. It's so hard. Everything's so hard to hold on to. It's so funny. And I like to ink up the edges, especially on the clusters, because it just adds a lot of interest. I think that one we're not going to use. Let's use this piece of pink paper. This is a piece of that embossed paper again, and because I think I want to stick this layer in between the one I just laid down. but I'll talk about that here in a second as we move on. Oh, that's going to cover that all up. How about here? That'll work. And then that, and then we've got a little flower. I've got this little flower punches, and I have 3 sizes, and I just picked the 2 smallest sizes, and then you just kind of layer them up on top of each other to create a little bit of interesting flower. So small. Okay. Let's go ahead and glue this thing together. I wonder if we should have the music pages stick the music on the bottom like that instead, because I feel like I don't want to lose all that pink, and I think I'm going to if I do that the way I was going to. So I'm just going to put some glue on the top of that. Oh my goodness, I'm clear off to the side, you guys. Why didn't you tell me? Let's go there. Perfect. And then the little bit of pink here. Oh, let's get a piece of lace. Gotta have lace in our clusters, you know. You know, if you've watched me at all, I love clusters. I have an entire cluster playlist that's pretty extensive because they're one of my favorite things to make. And they're great for making scraps, which is why I kind of did the playlist. It's a great way to use all your little itty bitty bits. So let's go ahead and get that pink on there. I feel like that's too wide. Let's tear that down just a little bit. It's hard to tear because it's textured, because it's embossed. Let's go ahead and highlight that embossing if we can. A little bit. There we go. Put a little bit of pink paper there. I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac because I am gluing this onto a lace base here. And I'm trying not to cover up those music notes because we worked hard to retain those. So, and then this is just another piece. This is that really pale green. But that's not going to work because my base flower is too light. So let me get something a little bit bolder to put there. I've got so much ephemera here that I'm not too concerned about just tearing a piece of it up like I'm doing here and just using it as cluster. This will make it really pop off the surface here. That's too wide. Boy, it's hard to tear that small though. Super fun. Oh, perfect. Yeah. Okay, there we go. You can still see a little bit of that lace, and then we're just going to put our flower. Let's get a little word too. I put those somewhere where they wouldn't get buried. Hold on. I think we're going to stop for today, and we'll do the cover, the paper, the cover of this, embellish it a little bit in the next video. So let's just do beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, you are beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You are, you know. You are beautiful. We are all beautiful. There we go. So let's just get this little flower on there. I'm going to just kind of go off here to this corner because I can, and it will allow me room for the word. And then this one's so small. Like, you guys, look at that. I can hardly hold on to it. You guys are probably laughing your head off. I wouldn't blame you. Oh, this is lovely. Look at that. That was the perfect paper to replace that other one with. There we go. So let's just get our word on there if I don't drop it on the floor and never find it. Use the Barely Arts here, and hopefully we can pick it up. Oh my goodness. Okay guys, you know what? This was fun. I will see you in the next video. I'm going to put this in the journal, and I will do a flip through, and we'll take close-up pictures and all of that so you guys can see what we ended up doing. So thank you guys so much for stopping by. Take care. Bye-bye.